Our next guest is Melissa Cizauskas. We welcome her back. We're going to talk about real estate again tonight and the best way to get the best bargain for the best money for your home, the way to get a bargain if you're looking for a home, and all the things that go along with real estate. So Melissa, thank you for being with us tonight again.
Thank you.
Melissa C. Rocks is your website. I'm going to say that off top.
Yeah, .rocks actually, as opposed to .com. So
.rocks?
Yes, I know. It's very different.
Well, all about you for a second. Your accomplishments have been recognized and awarded in both Northern California and San Diego. Today, Melissa is a top agent at Keller Williams Carmel Valley Del Mar, and she handles a variety of areas from new home development, title, escrow, and you were a part of a really cool book project. Tell me about that.
Okay, I had when I had a radio program which stemmed from a women's entrepreneurs networking group that I started. I met this amazing lady and I interviewed her on my show, and she's a well-known publicist, author, best-selling author, and writing coach. So she came to me with the opportunity to author a chapter of this collaborative effort on this book. And it was called How to Buy and Sell Real Estate in Today's Market. So she went through all the different names and producers in real estate, I would say, and of who she would want to use for the book, different women. So it's a collaborative effort.
And you were one of them.
Yes, and it was a bestseller like that.
What an honor.
Amazon. And I thought, gee, I should market that a little bit more.
You should, and here you are. You're doing it.
Yes.
That's good. Now, you had a chapter. What did you choose to dedicate your chapter to?
Oh, well, basically how to prep your home for selling. And so I'm happy to elaborate on that.
Yeah, tell us what to do if we want to prep our home. There's a lot of people that are making a move right now, and that's always the big question: what to do first, what to spend money on.
What to spend money on? Okay, that's a good one. People always ask me, how do they get the most back on a renovation? And for example, when we sold an investment property we had in Silicon Valley just a couple years ago, I actually I practiced what I preached. I put a new roof on my house. I painted inside and out. I did $3,500 in new sod and landscaping because we had it as a rental for 5 years.
Curb appeal is big.
Curb appeal is big. Roof is a money making. I mean, that's one improvement that you can reap the benefits from. That and windows, dual pane windows. That's always a good investment. And then flooring. If you have really poor carpeting, it's always good to put money in that way. Stainless steel appliances, those are the types of things that really get you money back.
Is there any particular room, would you do just a few things all over the house, like paint everything, carpet everything, or would you go to specific rooms like let's do the kitchen and the bathroom?
Yes, kitchen and bathroom, definitely, and then it just depends on the flooring and how dated it is. The person's budget, their time frame, etc. And just weighing the cost benefit options, because if it needs a full remodel, then you might want to do a few things to just put some lipstick on it, if you will, and make it look fresh and inviting, and then get it staged so that it shows nicely. Like when you walk into a model home and you say, oh, I want to live here, it's beautiful, because it's presented so in such a lovely way, and there's no clutter, and that is one of the reasons why staging a home is so important. I feel really frustrated for sellers actually when I see vacant homes on the market at like $1.6 million price point, and the lighting is poor, like from a smartphone, and there's no staging.
I know, from a perspective of someone who's looking at homes, 4 walls and a floor is so different from when you see it staged. You can actually envision your family in it. My question, I wanted to know, because obviously to you it's worth it to get a stager.
Yes.
And to even, if it's blank, fill it in, or if you have maybe clutter or things that maybe might not be that attractive to a buyer, you sort of replace it, declutter. What's the biggest cost that you've seen that sellers make back from staging? Is there one that stands out that you saw someone get a lot of money back for taking that time?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, if you will, because it depends on how the home is marketed. And which would kind of segue into the next point, like choosing a realtor, for example. So it's how the home is marketed in total. If you have it staged and prepped, and then you pre-market the home to the neighborhood, if you send out flyers, you door knock, and then you have an open house before it goes to the MLS, so you create a buzz in a very tight inventory market, and then you generate multiple offers. You put it on Realtor Caravan, and then you have it on, it's on the MLS and ready, set, go.
So you can help people with all this, because unless
Yes.
you're selling a home every day, which I am not, some of it sounds foreign or like you would need a doctorate to follow it all. And thank goodness
When
that
I talk
you
about
do this.
contracts, I really get into it, so I have to kind of bring it back because I started in this 30 years ago. So
No, it's great and it's interesting, and we are learning more and more about it as we have shows like these where you're elaborating on what we can do as sellers. But you mentioned a tight inventory, a low inventory, so that is good for the seller right now.
definitely, and actually, I'm just going to give this to you for free. Basically, I have seen 3 times personally with people that I know that knock on doors. There you go. And they say, I want to buy your house. And there are a lot of off-market deals that are closing. I mean, you can look at the MLS, and as an agent, I'm like, I know every single home in my price point for my buyers. They'll say, it's on this. I'm like, yeah, Roxbury. Oh, this one. But anyway, so the beauty of that is with the low inventory, sellers have an option of setting their terms when they want to move. That close of escrow perhaps could be subject to them identifying future property and successfully closing escrow, because that's another thing we're running into. 5 homes on the market, say, in the price point that I'm in for one of my buyers, up to $1.4 million. And the thing is they say, sellers are saying, where do I go? Where do I go? How do I find a house? So if they're downsizing or if they're upsizing, those are some of the reasons, or they want to just remodel or a change of scenery, but then they don't see anything on the market.
Yeah.
So
like how quickly are homes selling? They're just
like that.
right.
If they're priced right, it's so important to, even in today's market, to get the most money for your sellers. I usually work with my clients on 2 transactions. In most cases, they say, Emily, so we found a house. And so they buy the house, and then I list their house. So then they say, hey, can we make a deal if you represent us on 2 and ... And of course, everybody wants a deal. So I say, okay, what's the bottom line? I mean, what is the price you would be the most happy with if I sold your home, and listed your home? What price would you want, knowing that the same model 2 doors down is going to close at this price? And they say, well, gee, if it's going to close at that, then we want this. I said, okay, so if I get you anything over this, then I make my full commission. They're like, well, how much is that? Because they want to bring it down like 2.5% for my side. And I'm like, I said, it's a 0.5% difference, but I'll set a
Make
record.
the deal.
I set a record in your neighborhood.
We're going to hold you over and have you
Okay.
for another segment and talk more about that and how you balance family, volunteerism, and an amazing career. We'll be right back.
Thanks.